Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rachel, the owner and creator here at the Eclectic Cottage in Spokane, Washington. Today is Wednesday, and for today's video, I have a couple more thrift flips for you guys. I love how the two projects that I completed for today turned out. I really hope you guys like them too, and without further ado, let's just get right into today's projects. I have had this piece of wood sitting in my stash for quite some time now. I bought this for $1 at an estate sale, I think last summer sometime, and I really liked the color that was on this old cabinet door, but it was a bit of a mess, and it has just been, like I said, sitting in my stash ever since. And for whatever reason, I ran across it the other day and decided, you know what, I really should do something with this. So I pulled it out and I got to work. So it was filthy, as you can see here while I clean it. So I grabbed out my Crud cutter and gave it a really good bath. And then I moved on to sanding it. I started on the back side, and the back was in pretty rough shape. It looked like some sort of old laminate, and it was chipped and cracked in a few places. And as I'm sanding it here, I am getting hit with little bits of whatever is on the back of this door. It felt like I was being pelted by little needles, but I just kept working at it until I had the whole back of it nice and smooth. Then it was time to flip it over and work on the front side. Now, the front wasn't in horrible shape. It did have a couple little chips in the paint, so I sanded those as smooth as possible, but my main concern was keeping as much of that beautiful green color as I possibly could. I did also do a little bit of distressing along the sides and the top and the bottom of this door panel, just to bring out a little bit more of that wood and make this look a little bit more rustic. Now, it has been a long time since I did anything with my Cricut, so I was really happy to have an excuse to use it for this little cabinet door. So I printed out this stencil using my Cricut, and then I'm going in with DIY's little black dress and a stencil brush. I actually started with one stencil brush that was just too stiff and didn't really get down into the stencil very well, and I swapped it out for another one that I had. And so I'm just going in and dipping into the little black dress and then pouncing some of that paint back off again, so I don't have too gooky of a paintbrush, and then I am pouncing the paint onto the bigger letters and then going in with more of a swirly motion to fill them in. Once I'd gone over all of the letters a couple of times with the little black dress just to make sure I had good coverage, it was time to peel up the vinyl. So you can see here, I'm doing that very slowly, trying my best not to peel up too much of the paint with this vinyl. I did get a couple of chunks, but fortunately nothing too major. And then it was time to go back through and weed out, of course, all the little bits and bobs that were left behind. I definitely need a new weeding tool, you guys. I used mine for something. I don't remember what at this point, but the end is bent, so it isn't exactly the best for getting the smaller chunks out of the letters. Once I had all of the little bits and pieces removed, I did go back in with a tiny little brush and some more little black dress just to fill in a couple places on the letters where the paint had peeled up. Then I grabbed a damp shop towel and just went around the edges and any place that I accidentally had gotten any of the little black dress where it didn't belong. Luckily, since it is a water-based paint, it's very easy to clean up. Then it was on to the flowers, and even though I had a couple of good options, the other one was called Floral, one of the newer ones by Redesign with Prima. In the end, I decided to go with this transfer set. This one's called Floral Collection. It's an older one by Redesign with Prima that I've had sitting around on my shelf for ages now and decided to just go ahead and use it for this project. So I started cutting out my flowers one by one. I did both ends first just because I wanted to make sure that I had the tallest flowers toward the end of the sign and then work my way down from there. So I just kept cutting out flowers one by one, laying them down and using the transfer stick to apply them, and then moving on to the next flower. I tried to go with one more substantial flower followed by one more airy flower and so on. And then I used some of the smaller transfers to fill in the blank spaces along the bottom. Then it was on to sealing my paint, and I prefer to use a spray sealer over my stencils so that I don't run the risk of any smearing or smudging of my paint. I did put a really good coat over the top of this to make sure that everything was nice and sealed, and you can see I'm doing that inside because it is super windy outside, unfortunately, so now my whole shop smells like sealer, which is lovely. I am also going to flip this over and do the back and add a couple of hangers. I just ran out of time to show you guys that step, but I did want to show you this finished piece and how beautifully it turned out. I'm in love with it, and I hope you guys like it too. Now, I know you guys are used to seeing me paint just about everything I do. However, in this instance, I thought the best course of action would be to try to refinish this little wood stand. I bought this at Goodwill some time ago, and the finish on it was in rough shape in spots, especially the top. It looked like it had gotten some sort of water damage to the top of it, and the very top is actually warped just ever so slightly. You can only tell if you're standing back from it a ways, but it's definitely there. At any rate, I decided rather than painting this little piece, I was going to do my best to refinish it. Now, from what I can tell, this stand is solid mahogany, and even though mahogany is a hard wood, I have got my little palm sander on its very lowest setting, and I'm only using 220 grit sandpaper. I didn't want to accidentally gouge any place or take off more than I absolutely needed to. Now, since I was a little bit nervous about sanding some of the more rounded areas, I did a whole lot of hand sanding on this piece. I used a little bit of 150 grit sandpaper just to get the bulk of the dark finish off, and then went back over it with 220 grit, doing my best to get into all of the grooves and nooks and crannies of this piece and get as much of that old finish off as I possibly could. Once I was finished sanding my piece, I brought it back inside for a bath. I want to get all of that sanding dust off of it before I put my stain on. And for that, I'm using mineral spirits. And the reason I use mineral spirits as opposed to a wet shop towel is that, number one, mineral spirits doesn't raise the grain of the wood like water tends to, and number two, it does open up the pores of the wood to get it ready to accept the stain. So that's why I use mineral spirits. So I'm just going over the entire piece really, really well. You can see that beautiful rich color starting to shine from underneath there, and just making sure I wipe everything down really, really well. Then it was on to my stain, and for that I chose this beautiful rich color called Hickory. This is a gel stain by Varathane, and I'm just using a little chip brush to put on a decent layer of that stain, just working in sections, and then brushing it on really, really well. And once I've got a section completely covered, I'm going to go back in with a dry shop towel and just wipe off the excess stain. You can see what an absolutely gorgeous, dark, beautiful, rich tone this stain is leaving behind, and I'm absolutely loving it as I'm working my way up the little table. Now on the bottom of this little table, the finish was still in pretty good shape, so I didn't take all of it off. I simply scuff sanded it, and this gel stain did a great job of just blending that all in to the rest of it, and in the end, it all looked pretty much the same. The only part of this table I was a little bit worried about was the top. You could still see just a hint of the ring where the water damage was, but in the end, the gel stain did a great job of masking it so that you can't even tell that it's there anymore. The last step for this little table is to seal my stain. I let this dry for a couple of days before I went in with my sealer, and I'm using General Finishes Flat Out Flat sealer for this. And mainly because I really just want to get the rest of this can used up, and this little project was a good way to use some of it. And I'm just applying it very lightly with this sponge applicator, making sure that I get good coverage everywhere. I did do 2 coats on the bottom just to make sure I had really good protection over that stain. For the top of my table, I am going to be putting 4 coats of the General Finishes on it. I just want to make sure it has really good protection. I'm letting it dry in between each coat and then doing a really light sanding as well in between each coat, just to make sure I don't have any air bubbles, that there's no particles or anything like that on the top. And I'm using an old sanding block that I've had for ages. It really doesn't have much of a grain to it at all, and again, it's just to make sure that top is very, very smooth. So I just sand it, wipe it back down with a wet shop towel, damp shop towel, and then reapply once everything is dry. In the end, I absolutely love how this little table turned out. I'm so glad I chose to restain it rather than paint it, and I hope you guys like it as much as I do. That is it from here for today, you guys. I hope you liked my projects that I completed for today's video. I have a few more in the wings that are almost ready that I was going to try and get into today's video, but I remembered I'm not going to be here on Friday because it's the 4th. So since I'm going to be missing a day in my kitchen, I figured I would just hold those for Saturday. So join me on Saturday and I will have more thrift flips for you. If you did enjoy today's video, and I hope you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. I so appreciate that. And if you haven't already, I would really love it if you would think about subscribing to my channel and then just hit that little notification bell so you don't miss anything. And then don't forget to drop a comment below and let me know what you thought of today's projects. Just a quick reminder too, I carry a full line of DIY products here in the shop, including DIY paint and products, as well as Sweet Pickins milk paint and products, some Recycled Treasures decoupage papers, and of course some Redesign with Prima. So go there and check those out. As I said, Saturday is going to be more of the same. Some more thrift flips that I'm trying to work through, trying to get some of my items out of my stash and completed and out of my way. I keep kicking a couple of them in my kitchen. So anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. It is really, really hot here. I need to finish up this video, honestly, so I can turn my air conditioner back on. It's getting a little warm in the shop. Until Saturday, like I said, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week and beginning of the weekend. Thank you so much for being here. I always appreciate it, and I will see you then. Bye.